There are some journeys that shakes the earth beneath one's feet, some destinies that refuse to be escaped, and some callings that follow a person across cities, dreams, and lifetime. This is the story of Chinenye Okafor, the woman destiny chased across cities and finally dragged back to the village she ran from.
Chinenye was born in Okpuno Village, a place wrapped in ancient palm trees, where the wind carried stories older than memory and the earth remembered every footstep. But she was born with restless fire. Every time she sat by the village stream, while other children fetched water, she stared at the horizon. She saw glass buildings instead of mud houses. She smelled perfume instead of firewood smoke. She heard music and engines instead of crickets. The village could not contain her dreams. Okpuno was too small for the size of her ambition.
Like many dreamers, she wanted the city life, the glitter, the noise, freedom. So the day she turned 19, she packed her small nylon bag, hugged her mother tightly, and left for Enugu City, the place of rising dreams and cold ambitions. Enugu didn't welcome her gently. It tested her. She slept hungry. She worked endlessly. She endured insults, rejection, and loneliness. But Chinenye was stubborn with destiny. She was not the kind to bow. She worked as a shop attendant. She saved every kobo. She learnt beauty, makeup, skincare, and branding. And one day, with trembling hands and excited tears, she opened her first shop, Nenye's Haven. From one small table to 2 chairs to shelves to a boutique glowing with lights and luxury. Her name spread like perfume on a windy day. Women admired her strength. Men admired her fire. Customers flooded her shop like river water during the rainy season. Money came. Fame came. Influence came. The city celebrated her like a jewel on a royal crown. But success, like the sun, shines brightly and burns quietly. One afternoon, after a facial session, a customer held her hand. The woman frowned. "Your spirit is noisy," she said softly. "You are standing on borrowed ground." Chinenye laughed it off.
"Auntie, this is Enugu, not the village, oh."
Not long after, slowly and silently, something in her life began to shift, waiting for the right moment to strike. One evening, under a heavy sky, Chinenye was closing her shop when her phone buzzed. Her uncle's name flashed on the screen. She smiled until she heard his voice. "Chinenye, you must come home." His voice cracked. "Your mother is very sick. We don't know how long she has." The world paused. Her breath shattered. Her mother? Her only uncle? Her only family? The woman who lit her childhood with warmth? Chinenye packed a small bag, locked her glowing shop, and rushed to the village in a hired taxi, praying, shaking, whispering every psalm she knew, hoping the woman who birthed her would hold on. When she arrived, the village looked different, silent, still, watching her. "She's here, the city daughter," they murmured. She walked into the small mud house, and there, lying on a bamboo bed, was her mother. Frail, thin, eyes dim but smiling, softly. "Mama," Chinenye sat beside her. Her mother raised a trembling hand and touched her cheek like she used to when she was a child.
You left the village.
"You left
but
the village,
never left you.
but the village never left you." Chinenye broke down in tears. "What do you mean, Mama?" Her mother smiled painfully, a smile filled with secrets she did not have the strength to explain. You will understand when the time comes. Those were her last words. By midnight, while the crickets sang their lonely songs outside, her mother exhaled softly and never inhaled again. A piece of Chinenye died that night. She buried her mother with trembling hands and a heavy heart. The drums echoed. After the burial, with swollen red eyes but a strong heart, Chinenye returned to Enugu. She told herself she was fine. She told everyone she was okay. But something followed her back, and it did not come in peace. At night, the dreams began. A river calling her name. A woman's voice whispering from the water. Places she had forgotten began to appear. The ancient stream where her grandmother fetched water. The forest shrine she never dared to enter. The old mango tree where she carved her name as a child. The dreams grew stronger, louder, more demanding. Then her real life began to crumble. First, her suppliers failed her, payments delayed, orders missing. Then, customers stopped coming. Her shop suddenly felt cold, abandoned. Then came the robbery. Her shelves emptied overnight. Then the landlord increased her rent to an impossible amount. Then her business account froze. No explanation, no solution. Within a few months, everything she built, every sweat, every sacrifice, every dream collapsed into sand. Her empire became dust. Her savings vanished. Her friends grew distant. Helpers disappeared like morning dew. Chinenye felt cursed. Haunted, forsaken. For the first time since she was 19, she felt small again, alone, afraid. One cold night, after losing her last source of income, Chinenye sat on the bare floor of her empty apartment. She broke down. She wept until her voice cracked, until her tears soaked the floor, until pain became a physical weight on her chest. And in that moment of despair, she heard it, a whisper, soft yet powerful. Go home. She froze. Maybe it was her mind. Maybe it was grief. Maybe it was madness. She ignored it, but the whisper returned. Go home. Her heart pounded. The air thickened. A third time, but this time the voice sounded like her mother. The same tone, the same softness, the same warmth. Home? That village, the same place she had run away from, the same place where Ebere and Okamaka would laugh her into shame. She imagined the gossip. Siam, city life don't finish her. She thought she was too big for us. She returned empty-handed. Shame wrapped around her like chains. But what choice did she have? No business, no house, no friends, no strength left to fight. So, with trembling hands, she picked up the only bag she had left, closed the door of her empty apartment, and boarded a bus back to Okpuno Village. The same village she thought she had escaped. The same village destiny was dragging her back to. And little did she know, the real story of her life was only just beginning. The bus stopped at Okpuno Village by 11:42 p.m. The moon hung low, too low. The wind was too still, and the silence was unnaturally loud. Chinenye stepped down with her small bag and felt something strange. The ground vibrated. Just once, very softly, as if the earth recognized her footsteps. She shook it off. Walking through the village path, her heart raced. Maybe I'm tired, she whispered, hurrying away. But the air was no longer normal. Someone was watching her, not with hatred, with expectation. That night, she slept on her mother's old bed. The house smelled of smoke, palm oil, and memories. She planned to look for a job the next morning, but destiny had other plans. The next morning, Chinenye woke to a loud sound of footsteps in her father's compound. She opened the door. It was a strange-looking old woman stood at the entrance door, dressed in white, barefoot, waiting patiently for her. Chinenye gasped. She couldn't scream. Her voice failed. The woman raised her hand gently. "Do not fear, Neye." Her voice was like wind passing through trees. Who are you?" Chinenye whispered. The woman smiled. "I am Adaora, the village priestess." "You have finally come," the priestess said. "Your mother fought for you. Every year, unknown to you, your mother fasted alone and observed sacred rituals for 7 days in silence, in prayer, renewing a protection you never knew you needed. But when she died, the protection broke. Chinenye was confused. What protection? The priestess pointed at the ground beneath her feet. "The women in your lineage made good sacrifices of prayer, fasting, devotion to shield every daughter born after them. But you, Chinenye, you abandoned your roots. You left the land that covered you. You walked away from the source of your blessing." Chinenye fell to her knees, sobbing. She remembered her mother's last words. "You will understand when the time comes." And now she understood. Her fall was not a curse, it was a calling. Her destiny was tied to the village she ran from. Her blessings were tied to a heritage she ignored. Her protection was tied to a secret her mother never told her. For months, she underwent cleansing, prayer sessions, spiritual restoration, and reconnection rituals. Not witchcraft, not darkness, but the ancient spiritual discipline her mother and grandmother practiced. Slowly, her spirit healed, her dreams returned, her mind cleared, her strength rose. She opened a new business in the village, Nenye's Haven, Roots and Renewal.
Welcome to Nenye's Haven, Roots and Renewal, where modern skincare meets ancient herbs and ancestral healing.
She combined modern skincare with ancient herbs and ancestral healing, knowledge passed secretly from mother to daughter. Women traveled from cities to be healed. Her name spread beyond Enugu. Prosperity returned. And most importantly, she found herself. She found her heritage. She found her destiny. She found home. Sometimes life may break us, not to destroy us, but to push us back to the place where our destiny truly lives. Sometimes your fall is your awakening, dear hearts. I know there are nights you lie awake asking, "Why me? What did I do wrong?" But hear this, my friend, not everything that hurts is a mistake. Some things hurt because they are corrections. Right now, you might feel lost, embarrassed, or behind in life. You might feel like everyone else is moving forward while you're standing still. And I know it hurts. I know you're tired. I know you're questioning everything. But listen closely, my friend. What feels like the end is actually a turning point. You're healing. You're becoming. And even now, life is still on your side. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to Bellenicolestories for more powerful, inspiring stories. Your support helps me continue creating stories like this. God bless you.